Hello everyone, we're here in Greenbrier. We're actually on the other side of the road that goes in Greenbrier. This is going to be one of those I don't know how far I'm going to go deals. This is actually going to be off trail. We're actually across the river from the road that goes into Greenbrier. This could be a long hike, but it could be a short one. I don't know. Depends how the trail pans out. I actually haven't been on this side in many years, so I'm not sure how this trail is going to do. There at the beginning of this trail, there was a bunch of poison ivy. You can actually tell there was a road over here at one time, back in the past. I think that would have been the main road bed right over there that we started on. Now we're on a trail off the side of it. I may do this again come winter time. That way you can see it without being grown up. The river is just over there, and of course the road's just across the river. You can see a car going through over there, barely through the trees. I do believe you can reach a cemetery this way, but I'm not sure we'll be able to make it today because, like I said, I'm not sure the condition of the trail, how grown up it gets after so far. You can finally see the river now a little bit through the trees. so far, the trail is fairly good shape. Looks like it's well used. Like I said, it's been quite a few years since I've done this, so I can't really remember the distance to the cemetery or how the trail turns into. Yeah, if I really wanted to, I could walk across there. Because that's a fairly deep spot right there. I can look at it and just tell. But you go a little ways further, it's not too bad. So if you're ever in Greenbrier and you see people walking over here, it's because there is a trail right here. It's not really a named trail of any sort. It's just a trail. So I guess you would kind of consider it off trail, because it's not really an official trail. More like what you would call manway, like the trail up to Baskins Creek Falls that I did yesterday. Of course, you would see more in the winter and everything's died down, because there would have been old home sites and stuff over here. I'd almost bet this is probably farmland here back in the day, being as flat as it is. There are people actually down there and swimming in the river today. But it is in the mid-80s. So. As in the beginning of this video, I don't know how far we're going to go, and I'm not sure we're really going to see much of anything. I just wanted to get a little hike in, and preferably one wouldn't have too many people on it. It was one started very late in the day too. It's already after 3. I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do today. I actually wanted to go up to Mount LeConte by the Bullhead. I guess that's all for the best. Like I said on some of my videos yesterday, there were supposed to be some big trees down past the pool pit. Hard to get around. Like I said earlier too, I don't know how grown up this trail gets after you go so far. I know it wasn't too bad the last time I was on it, but like I said, that's been many years ago. Like I said, I do know you can get to a cemetery this way, but I'm not sure what shape the trail's in to get to it. Wasn't able to get him. There was a pleated woodpecker over there. He flew off. Of course, you don't get a good view of the river over here as you do on the Greenbrier side where the road's at. It wouldn't even be that great in the winter either, because that's mostly rhododendron. supposed to be in green like it is. It'd be hard to see like old homesteads right now. Like I said, I'll probably most likely do this again in the winter time sometime. Just like yesterday, you got a bunch of spider webs through here. It's definitely a big flat area on this side of the Greenbrier though, this side of the river. Spiders galore through here. Look up to there, I think there might have been maybe a spring house, maybe back in there. It's kind of hard to tell. Of course, since it's been many years back through here, I'm not sure what type of flowers we'll see back here either. Start hearing thunder, I'll probably turn around too. There are a chance of storms this evening. There was nothing on radar before I headed out though. Maybe that's a little brown jug. Of course, they can be hard to see because they're under the leaves. see, this trail is going to get very tricky here. We're high up on the hillside now. I do believe you can make it all the way to Old Settlers Trail if you really wanted to. But I know there's a portion of it that gets very hard to follow after so far. I just can't remember how far before it gets real hard to follow. Unless it's been traveled more now and people have worn it out a little bit more. So far the trail is in fairly good shape considering it's not a main trail. I'm sure it's got a name, but I don't know the official name to it. But it's not a name recognized by the park, so to speak, like Porter's Creek or Ramsey Cascades. It's not really a named trail by the park. But I'm sure it's got a name of some sort. Just like Engine Creek. It's not really a park trail, but it's named Engine Creek. This trail does get a little thin here in places. So far it's no worse than Scott Mountain. Not really even as bad as Scott Mountain really, but it's not as muddy either. I'm hoping we can make it to a cemetery, but like I said, I'm not sure if we will be able to or not. Yeah, I see a sign of bear. It's not too fresh though. Of course, I'm not looking to make it all the way to old settlers trail for sure. I don't think I got the time for that. Of course, if I did that, I'd definitely be walking the road back. I'd rather get caught on the road in the dark than out here on the off trail. I'd show you the river, but can't really see the river. You can only hear it. Of course, this trail may be just worn out till you get to the cemetery. And then past the cemetery might be where it becomes hard to follow. If we don't make it to the cemetery, you're just gonna have to take my word. There is a cemetery back here. There's actually a couple, but the other one's easier to get to from Old Settlers Trail. Or I should say closer to get to from Old Settlers. This is going to be the best spot to get through this fallen tree. There must be something near here. I see a little blue spot over there. That's usually a site where you're near a homestead or something. I don't think there's anything up there. Be kind of hard to get through there, but I don't think anything's up there. I would think there'd be a better trail. I'm just curious, since I saw that blue mark. And there's another one on the bottom of that tree. But I seriously don't think there's anything up here. Might have been an old homestead. It's kind of a flat area here. There's some more markings here. All in on the trees here. They're kind of wore down, but there are markings here. So there might have been a very small grave here one time. I don't see any markers to say so though. But I know there are some that aren't really marked real good. Said I'm not really sure if this is just a old home site or there's actually a few graves here. Get back down to the trail. I do believe the one I'm thinking of is a little bit better marked. I probably could have made it there and walked down that little stream bed a little better. Like I said, there's still markings on the trees back in here. A lot of times it just marks old homesteads. And most likely what you would see is like a rock pile where a chimney was. But I didn't even see anything like that up through there. Unless it was covered up by the greenery. Actually, it's like there's a trail back through there. I think we'll go down and look at the creek real fast and through here, or river. I think it's actually part of the river you usually don't see. I'm contemplating on going back through there a little bit, see if I see anything. Just cut back here where I can look back in here. Yeah, I'm not going to climb through all that. Maybe when I come back in the winter. See some animal prints. Probably coyote. Go back this way. So I think that should go about the way that trail was going. Oh wow. I don't know if I'll mess around too much. There's definitely wild hog in here. So I'm not going to go off trail too much right now. I don't think there's too much back in there anyway to look at it. I'm not seeing anything from here. Like I said, I'll do more exploring in the winter. Yeah, if you heard a little thumping, I believe it was just the car going across that little bridge near the ranger station. It's kind of a low thump noise, so I don't know if the camera even caught it, so you might not even heard it. But if you did, that's what it was. Another big flat area. I guarantee it was farmland at one point. Heard the thump again, so that's what it is. This car is going to cross the bridge over there. If it wasn't so green, I'd walk around a little more off the side of the trail. Just looking around. I know there's more out here. We can go off trail a little ways. I'm going to try to get it to the top of that hill. Looks like it may be smooth or flat up there. Probably not going to be anything up here. I'm just curious. Yeah. Not an open place, but seeing it looks like maybe some stuff back here, but can't really tell for sure. It's just quartz rocks. I just saw these white quartz rocks and thought it might have been old plates or something. It's just quartz rocks, just scattered about. That's kind of cool though, seeing all the quartz rocks here scattered around. There's probably some farmland up here back in the day. Go back down, get back on the trail. I just decided to come up here because it's a little bit more open. There was a home side of some sort here though. I am seeing markings on the trees here and there. This was a very big community at one time before the park was here. I was sort of hoping we'd see a fallen chimney or something, but I didn't see anything like that up there. As you see, there's definitely like white marks on the trees in areas. So that does tell me there was a home site here at one time. I'm just not sure where the cabin would have been for sure. Like I said, it's been many years since I've been on this part of this trail. I've been on the old settler side, but I haven't been on this part. Now this, I don't know if you can tell it too good in the video, but this area has been torn up by wild hogs. It's been a long time since I've been to this cemetery. I've been thinking about too, so I don't know the condition of getting to it and all. I've been to the upper side near the old settlers trail, but I haven't been to this one in a while. I can't even remember if it's got a easy trail to follow to it. Tell the truth, I can't exactly remember how far up the trail it is either. It's been that long since I've been to it. Areas like this where the trail kind of starts hiding, because right here in this area, like back there, has been dug up by wild hogs and to dig up the trail. I just know it basically follows the river. But the wild hogs have really made it hard to follow now. You can see how they tore that area up. Because originally it would look like that green area over there. They got it so torn up in the mud right now. Oh, spiders. You can see the trail is kind of dwindling down to a very thin line, so it don't look like people go too much further that often. And the only reason I can tell is that I'm on the trail still is I'm looking ahead and seeing the trail going through there. It's another area wild hogs are really dug up. There's the river again. You can see a little bit of it. Climbing above the river again. You can see some parts of the trail are okay, and other parts are kind of hidden. white marks on almost every tree down through here. White or blue ones. You see someone sort of clears the trail every now and then. I would say most likely a local that has family in the cemetery or something. Of course, I do believe I've reached this one cemetery before, but I think I came from the old settlers trail side. Oh wow, this is literally getting ready to slide here. There's a big crack right there, and it's already slid over here. That whole chunk right there with them trees is going to slide one day. Actually not sure where we are on the road on the other side. I know we're past the ranger station. I can't even see the road. I know it's over there. Yeah. I see a car over there, so the road's just over there. I think we're on the bottom side of the hill that comes from the ranger station. Just after it turns to gravel. To give a little perspective of where I'm at. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I've been in the river down there before. I'm thinking this is beginning to look like this cemetery is actually further up than I thought it was. There's some mountain laurel. So I'm beginning to think both cemeteries are closer if you go to it from the old Settlers Trail, or OST if you hear it that way. That's what it is, the old Settlers Trail. But I did hear it's a little easier coming this way. I don't know why. Looks like it's got just as hairy spots to me as the other side does. I guess if I had to, I could find me a way to get across to the road. Just try to find a shallow spot. Really had to. You can see the road over there pretty good now. Those spiders right across the face. Ah, here's an old home site for sure. You can see where the chimney would have been right there. This is definitely where a cabin would have been back in the day. That's a fallen chimney right there. Little dugout space right here. So there was definitely a cabin there at one time. You can see there's still markings on trees here and there. I think we should be getting close where the road goes up, where it sees that stop sign at. Just to give you an idea kind of where we're at. I'm going to take a chance and go up this little trail here. I see a stack of rocks there. That's usually a sign that there's something up through there. Yeah, I do believe we're at the cemetery. I think I remember this. Very faintly because it's been so long, but I do think I remember this being the cemetery. Or maybe not. No, I think it's up on here, on the top of the hill up here. Of course, that's where there are usually, on the very top of a hill. I hope it's what I'm thinking anyway. I swear it feels very familiar. It's not a big one, but it might be. I can't remember how big it is. Because it's been a while since I've been to this one. This has got to be the cemetery though. Like I remember it, but I don't remember it. Hard to explain. Something definitely has to be up here though. It was definitely marked. There's a fairly good trail coming up here. Yep, it's the cemetery. I see the headstones. It is a fairly good sized one. Looks like a lot of the markers are not there, but it's a pretty good sized one. Whew. As usual, it's always a steep climb up. I don't know if any of these say anything. Sometimes the camera gets it better than I can see with my eyes. There's a little bit on this side I definitely see. Camera's definitely getting it better though. My guess is this would be the Waters Cemetery. Maybe. Because that's where I'm seeing Waters. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry. But it's the last name is Widers. I almost think I could make it to the OST if I really wanted to. I don't mind walking the road if it's dark. I think I'm pretty close to the other area. Most of these are just rocks through here. I know looking at the area there's probably more plots in here that are just not marked, or not marked good. There's another one there you can barely see. Here's a good marker up here though. It's actually got writing on it. It's a husky. Huh. It actually should be right here. But somehow it got moved over there. I don't know how it would have got moved. Maybe a bear was after or something. I don't think someone would have moved it. This is kind of a out of the way cemetery for people just to come to. Any random people to come to anyway. You see what I had to go. There's definitely more plots up here you can see. I just tripped over a stick. That little stick right there is what I tripped over. You can see some more stones here and there. It's just hard to see with it getting green. This one's been turned over too, and that one's broke. Something's been up here and turned things over. As you can see, that's where that would have been connected to. But it looks like it's been like that for a while, so we'll go a little bit further. See if the trail is still followable. But I did make it to at least one cemetery. And if I do make it to the OST, like I said, I'm going to just hike back the road from there. Because I'm parked in Greenbrier anyway. So I'm at the first parking area though. We'll see how much further the trail is followable. 'Cause I know it does get a little hard to follow after so far. Remember the last time I tried to come here, I tried to come from the other direction. And I kind of lost the trail, and it was late in the day that day too, so I decided just to turn around. This is actually further off the trail than I remember it. It's like I remembered it, but I don't remember it. It does sort of look like it might be coming a storm though. That's not gonna be fun back here. Especially being off trail. Out back to the what you would call the main trail. Well, that's one good thing, you know. Usually, if you see a pile of rocks like that, that's usually a sign there's something up that way. I do believe it's marked like that before, but sometimes people take away the rocks and stuff, so. We'll either go the full way or we'll go until we can't follow the trail no more. Does seem like it's getting awfully dark though. It shouldn't be getting dark as far as nighttime goes. Careful through here, this is all poison. Don't want to go off the trail here. Probably gonna get a little bit of poison on this hike. There's no way to avoid it through here. So you probably don't want to do this trail if you're really allergic to poison ivy. Now I got a bunch of gnats through here. If I remember right, there's not another cemetery till we reach the one that's right next to the trail. Here's some more brown jugs. Of course, right now, if it started thundering, there's no quick way out either way I went. Thinking right, I'm basically just about halfway in. Of course, it'd be longer going the way I'm going because I'd still have to come back the road. But it's getting super grown up through here too. You can definitely tell most everyone comes from that direction to that cemetery. Then to this other cemetery, most people go in from the old settlers trail. So it kind of leaves this middle part barely used. you can see, it definitely gets harder to follow, especially this middle part between the cemeteries. I almost lost it there. I almost thought it went to the left, but it goes this way. I probably would have came back to it though. And I'm not sure where I am along the road right now. Because if I knew where I was on the road, I'd kind of know where I'm at. But I know it's right over there. I just don't know what portion of the road I'm on. I did think I smelt someone barbecuing, so I may be kind of near the picnic area. At least smoke blowing from it. It's getting very hard to follow through here. People definitely don't use this part of the trail too often. They either hike in the other direction just to that cemetery or from the OST to this other cemetery. And not many walk the whole trail. Actually, I think I actually got off of it because there's the trail there. So you can see you can kind of weave in and off of it. At least the other trail led me back to it. There's actually a trail going back through there too, but I know this has to be the main trail. Or is it? I'm going to go this one, because this is definitely a trail here. Maybe it's just the clearest one. And lead back to it, like that one did. You can definitely see this is a trail, so you can see how easy it is to kind of lose your way. I just know as long as I stay by that river, I'll be okay. As long as I stay by the river, going in that general direction, I'd eventually reach Ramsey Cascades Road at least. course, I feel like we shouldn't be nowhere near the picnic area yet. But still, I guess I could have smelled smoke blowing from there, you know, from them cooking. I know I shouldn't be that far along yet. I think I got another area where it's going to get hard to follow the trail. I think it may be the area I turned around the last time I tried to come this way. I'd almost welcome a rain shower as long as it's not thunder and lightning and heavy winds. As long as it's not super heavy too. Just enough to cool it down. This area sort of feels familiar. Yeah, I remember this area. I don't think we're too far from another cemetery then. And I'm here, I'm feeling raindrops. Like I said, as long as it don't absolutely pour, I'll be okay with it. I do believe I remember this area here though. I definitely remember that part of the river. I went down there the last time I was up through here. Yeah, I do remember that part of the river. so we shouldn't be too far away from the other cemetery, I don't think. I think it is getting ready to pour the rain though, how it's acting. And again, I know there are areas that kind of look similar to other areas. I don't know, I think I might have went the wrong way. Or I saw another trail. I'm thinking I should be up there. This is kind of why I don't recommend any off-trailing, guys. There are trails that just go off in various directions. I know I seen a trail that kind of went up that direction. Here comes the rain. I'm not lost, I know where I'm at. It's just finding the right trail. As long as it don't start pouring, we'll be okay. It's the only thing I worry about in Greenbrier. You know how it floods here. You can see how hard it is to follow this trail now. Yep, it gets very tricky. I think this is the part that it really gets tricky in. Yep. As you see, it gets very tricky. You can't even tell there's a trail through here on this part. I know it's here. I think I got off of it pretty good ways, but I know it's got to be through here. It's a little steep there. I think it should be right up here. Yep, there it is. I knew it was here. It's just very hard to follow in places. And there's a marker. Yeah, that's this. Maybe think the area I turned around last time. I just know I'm going the right direction. That's all that really matters. Even though it did take some actual off-trailing. I knew I'd eventually find the trail again. Even though this ain't seeming right, it's here. I don't think it should be going up through here. But that's the way I'm seeing the trail. If not, I'll come back down because that might be it down there. Yeah. And then again, here's the trail right here. See, man, it really gets confusing back in here. I know I'm going in the right direction. I definitely meet the road going this direction. But See what I mean? There's a slight trail down there. Then you got this trail up here. It's sort of why you don't recommend off-trailing. Because you'll get back in these places. It's got trails that go everywhere. You need to find a way around that tree. It's really starting to come down now. I don't have an umbrella or anything either. If it's too bad, I may just have to end the video and kind of let you know at the truck I made it okay. I do remember this area. I think there might be something up through there, but can't remember for sure. We'll go see. I'm not even sure if there is anything up here, guys. Maybe just a wasted trip up here. Maybe just a old road to one of their old home sites years ago. Yeah, I think that's all it is. Just an old road. I don't think there's anything up in here. That's about as far as the trail goes. With it pouring rain, I need to really concentrate on getting out of here. Come back and do this another time. But maybe come in from the other direction. Or do it when it's back winter time again. I'm sure there may be something up that way, but I just, with it starting to pour rain, I don't want to do too much right now. Especially being off trail. I know we should pass one that's cemetery is literally right off the trail. And it'll be on the right side eventually. It should be back when the trail is easier to follow again too. Even though it's not too bad through here. You see how it gets in some certain points. I do think no matter what, I'm pushing my way to the old settlers trail. Because I'm closer to it now than I am to going back the other direction. I remember right, we should be getting kind of near another old home site eventually. I feel like there may be something up in there too, but I'm not going to go up in there. Looks like this might be fun down here. Well, I can't see the road, but I know it's got to be over there somewhere on the other side of the river. It's a little easier through here than try to go down that steep part. Yep, I almost made the mistake to go up to there. But this trail is actually over here. Remember that tree? Sure might have went through there at one time to look at it. It's not the trail used today, but the trail did go through there. So I would have ended up at the same place. Just would have been a little rougher. Oh yeah, I remember the trail does get very thin through here. I think that's probably why someone's made a trail up there. Comes the rain again. It stopped there for a while. Yep, I'm definitely too far to turn around now. I'm definitely closer to the Old Settlers Trail than I am going back the other direction. I'm definitely in the area I remember of going the last time I was here. I may have been thinking wrong, but I thought we passed another chimney on the way through here. Or I may have passed it and not known it. It'd be hard to see when it's green. definitely starting to pour now. We should be okay though. We're not in the flood zone, so to speak. But I may have to end this video before I want to. Hopefully I can at least make it to the last cemetery. When I make it there, we're about there. And we're about to the cemetery now. I'm seeing the sign or post to go to it. So I'm not lost, guys. I really I knew where I was at. It was just those spider webs. Yeah, I knew where I was at. It was just I lost the trail at times. But here's the other cemetery. I did make it here the last time I came here. I just didn't make it to the second one down because it just got too late in the day. So we're actually not too far from the OST now. I do think this is the Parton Cemetery. Nothing like spider webs to make you feel all icky. Okay, the writing's on this side. I don't think there's any writing on these stones. If it is, it's going to be very hard to see. I think there might have been something on this, but I can't read it. Maybe you can see it in the camera because sometimes it comes up better. But I don't think so. But there definitely was some sort of writing on it. Well, we're almost to the OST now. This one's the closest cemetery to the OST. On this trail. So the trail should be fairly easy to follow the rest of the way out. Since the rain slowed down again, I'll probably try to get you all out to the road at least, because I'll go up to Old Settlers Trail and then it comes out on Ramsey Cascades Road. I actually made it further than I really planned today. I was just going to go to that first cemetery and that was as far as I was going to go. But I felt like I was so far in, I might as well come all the way out. Because it was further in than I remembered. And I'm not sure on mileage since it's in a listed trail. I'm not sure how many miles I've done. I do have a counter on me, but I haven't looked at it and I don't really feel like pulling it out. If I remember, I'll put it in the description how many miles I did. But it'll be total miles, including the miles I walked on the road back. But it has to be roughly almost the same mileage as the road back here, I would think. But I don't even know that really. Yeah, we do got a water crossing on this trail, getting to the OST. Shouldn't be too bad yet, it hasn't poured the rain. Of course, it could be raining more up on top of the mountain. Oh, that's too thick. I'll just walk through like I normally do. That's why I say I don't try to rock hop usually. Because you try to step to the rocks and a lot of times they're slick. So it's just easier walking through the water. Sort of do want to do the OST sometime before it gets too grown up. And we're just about to it. The Old Settlers Trail. Yep, there's the Old Settlers Trail. It's up there on top of the bank. Needs to climb up and a slick climb down, especially right now with it being wet and muddy. Here we are. This is Old Settlers Trail. Of course, I do want to keep going that way sometime before it gets way too overgrown. Not today though, way too late for that. It's gonna be getting dark by the time I get to the truck, I'm sure. Yeah, it's almost 6 o'clock. But I knew it'd be late 'cause I started after 3. But should be easy going from here on though. This trail should be in good shape, and of course the road will be in good shape. No climbing in and over stuff, over and under. So I should get out of here before it gets dark. Still got 2 hours, or a little over 2 hours. But like I said, I don't mind as long as I'm on the road. And I'll definitely be on the road by then. I'm sure some of y'all probably thought I was going to be get lost, especially in some of them places to the off trail there. I knew which way to go, it was just hard finding the right path. Or path of least resistance, I should say. I knew just to keep the river to my right. Don't go away from it. It looks like it may be raining pretty good up on the mountain. Of course, I don't know if you can see up there or not, that would be where the boulevard and all are. Kind of in that direction anyway. Doesn't look too bad towards the Pigeon Forge way. Looks like it's kind of still clear that direction. Looks like all the rain's just here in the mountains. That's typical, as you know, for the Smoky Mountains. That's why I say you need to still watch the rivers. It could be pouring the rain up here in the mountains and not like in Pigeon Forge or at the Y. And all of a sudden you get a flash flood, even though it's not raining there. Of course, if I do this trail, it probably won't be till next week. I don't think I'll have any more time to hike anymore this week. Any big trails anyway. Maybe some shorter ones. Yeah, I know this is going to be a fairly long video, but I enjoyed it. Of course, if I'd done what I originally planned, it would have been a long video too. I was going to do the cont, but things came up. I'm thinking that had to be at least 4 or 5 miles I did, just on the trail part. think the forest looks a little bit more magical when it's green than when it's dead. Not expecting to run into anybody until I'm on the road. Like I said, it's after 6, so I don't think anybody will be starting to come down this trail right this time. If they do, they're not going too far. Sorry, I'm just seeing if I see any flowers or anything. That's what I'm looking for. The yellow trillium's almost gone. That's one thing about this trail too, there's a lot of poison on it beside the trail. But at least the trail is a lot wider. You can avoid it in most places. I promise we're about to the road. This comes out on Ramsey Cascades Road. Just after you cross the bridges. I do need to do Ramsey Cascades. I haven't done the whole trail since they've redone the whole trail. I've done part of the trail, but I haven't done the whole thing. The last time I tried it, the bridge has got a little bit too icy and I didn't want to try it, chance it. I don't think anyone's been through here. Spiderwebs through here. Not recently, anyway. And we're about there. I see signage. And I see the road. Of course, that's just the rules. Nope, no cars here at all for the OST. I'll go up real fast and get a view of the river. Of course, Ramsey Cascades is a long ways back that way. I'm sort of surprised there's no one parked here. I'll get off the bridge at least before I end the video. That way I'm not in the way if a car comes through. But it's not looking too busy back here. Well, I hope you enjoyed that off-trail hike here in Greenbrier, seeing the two cemeteries. Everyone, thanks for watching and have a great day.